In the 5th century BCE, Athens was a city where words and ideas moved freely through the streets. In this city, there were more questions than answers. In this city, a child was born. The child's father was a stone mason who worked with rock. His mother was a midwife who helped new life begin. As a child, Socrates spent more time listening than speaking. The words and expressions of people became his first teachers. In his youth, he participated in war as a citizen. However, he was remembered more for restraint than for battle. These experiences led him toward a life of questioning. As an adult, Socrates stepped into the agora. The agora was a place where words and ideas collided.
Tell me, young man, do you consider yourself just?
Yes, I live by obeying the law.
Then what do you think justice is?
Justice is following the law, is it not, young man?
Does even a bad law become justice?
I once believed that as well when I was young. But the law is not always right.
Should we follow adults even when they are wrong?
What a person chooses to ask changes the life they live.
Socrates did not give answers. He always began with questions. Young people often struggled to respond to his questions. Even in the marketplace, he asked why people lived as they did. Even to children, he gave no answers, instead inviting them to think. His questions gathered people more than they instructed them. His questions slowly spread into everyday life. Socrates never rushed, because thought requires time. The day's conversations ended, but the questions remained in people's minds. His questions left him and began to grow anew within the city. Even as he aged, Socrates did not leave the city. His words became fewer, but his questions clearer. Gradually, his questions began to make people uncomfortable. Among those in power, some began to see him as dangerous. Accused of impiety and corrupting the youth, he was sentenced to death. Though he had a chance to escape, he chose not to break the law. He accepted death according to the way of life he believed in. That is how Socrates died. He left no writings, but remained deeply in people's hearts. Socrates was gone, but the questions were alive. The city resumed its days as if nothing had happened. Socrates' young student Plato was deeply angered by his teacher's death. Plato wrote this: "Do not kill the questions." Plato wrote in dialogue form so that readers would think for themselves. Plato's student Aristotle expanded questioning from humans to nature. Thus, Socrates' questions continued through Plato to Aristotle. Even in classrooms, students still search for answers. But understanding deepens the moment questioning begins. The moment we ask, "Why should I live this way?" thinking begins.
Sócrates left no answers.
Instead, he left a way of living through questions.